Okay, since I did the last video here, I have learned and made a bunch of changes. Facebook group has helped me figure out all kinds of things. There's things that I had completely wrong, and then there were things that just weren't set up correctly. So I've made 3 revisions, I believe, since I did that last video, to check to make sure things are doing what they're supposed to be doing, and making sure that it's reacting correctly. So this is pretty much what I've got so far. Okay, so I have smoothed out the automatic mode up, or the gear change up, this map right here, because I had the 0% actually set higher than the 10% in some of them. It was just weird, and it was making it actually kick down when I didn't want it to kick down. So I adjusted that over here. Okay, so this is one of the things I got completely wrong. No, I don't know what these stand for now. I don't. It's not you can only have 3 automatic modes, because I found the map that you can actually make all of them automatic if you wanted to. I still believe that would be ridiculous, because you wouldn't be able to, if you wanted to play around on like autocross or track the car or anything like that, you don't want the timer to run out and then just go back into automatic mode when you're part throttle, because that would just be a nightmare. Be a pain in the ass. So I haven't really made any other adjustments to this map per se, but I just wanted to say that I was wrong about that. Okay, now minimum gear, reduce, kick down, off, and on. I do know what those do now. Makes all the sense to me now that I know that throttle position is fixed. So I have the minimum gear, reduce, kick down, off. So like coasting to a stop sign, it'll go to 1. But then if you're moving after the stop sign, essentially, and you floor it, it'll only go down to 2 now, which makes sense because there was a couple times that I floored it and it reached for first gear when it was at the top of the RPMs, and then had to shift again anyways. So that was pointless to do that. So I turned that off. But throttle position was not enabled, and I'll show you that next. Okay, so this is the situation with this kickdown. Okay, I had to go over here to sensor calibration and then go down to TPS input, and if you look, it says 0 is off. Okay, it was actually set to 0. See, now I have it set to 13, and 13 is off of the CAN bus, which is the way it's supposed to be. Now, it's always been registering that it had throttle position sensor, but it seems that it was never using the throttle position sensor. So now that I have that set, okay, so if we go over here, right, we have our TPS input, which is under sensor input, and you scroll down here and you go to kick down calibration. I have it set to 75% now. So we have up here, right, sensor calibration, sensor input, TPS input, and then you scroll down farther towards the bottom here and you get TPS calibration right there. Okay, so the next situation here, go over here, RPM limits, and then drop down within the menu and go to the minimum limit 2.1, minimum limit 8.2. Thanks to Facebook again and talking to people in the community, I now know what those ones do. So these are actually basically as you're coming to a stop sign, you can use these to start the downshifts so that it's softer as you come to the stop sign. You know, less aggressive or whatnot. And I've changed these to 1500 basically across the whole thing. And that's made a tremendous amount of difference, actually. It's much smoother coming to a stop sign now instead of doing that jerky crap back and forth. Each time I grabbed a gear, it would just lock into that gear because it was too low in the RPM versus using it at a higher RPM. So in this other situation, I'm going to try and use this table right here, which is earlier reductions on foot brake on, which is over here also. Well, it's the one underneath it, right? So these are all set to 100. All of these are. So I wanted to see. I'm going to drive it in position 1 and come to a stop, and then I'm going to put it into position 2 and see whether or not it's starts actually grabbing downshifts earlier. Because for track use, if you were going to use, like, coming into a corner, you wanted to start grabbing gears automatically going down, I would think that that would be the map you'd want to play with. So we're going to find out here. I've loaded the map. I haven't used the map yet, so I'll probably use it here in a little while because I need to go out and do some more driving and tuning. So okay, so after taking it out for a drive, this earlier reductions on the foot brake, yeah, probably leave those at 100 unless you're going to use those on the track, because it was just grabbing downshift gears. So like if you were on a racetrack going into a corner, you could set those, like I had them at 1,000 or something like that, and it really starts to grab the gears going down. A little too much for street driving, but I might end up using that maybe on like a 7 and an 8, you know, because I would like to track drive the car or autocross the car. Could be useful, maybe not, but I would still think you might want to be on the paddles more than counting on the transmission. But it did it. It was, as I was coming to a stop sign, barely touching the brake pedal, it just started going down, and I ended up getting to like 3,000 RPM downshifting. So yeah, probably not a great one.